Hey everyone. Hello. Hi. It's Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. How are you? Here for our Cricut Chat on Friday. And we're going to be doing a project that I have developed. I mentioned yesterday that I developed as a project a couple years ago, and I'm finding that especially with people with Cricuts, this is going to be very useful to. People with joys is going to be very useful to them. But it's for all machines, and I'll tell you how to do this. And I'll show you the variations, okay? So just wanted to welcome you to Cricut Chat. My name is Rita, and if you're just joining us, welcome. And we normally meet here Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, and then also on Saturday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern for Cricut Date Night. This date night, I may not be able to do a presentation. I know that I had mentioned that I wanted to show you a couple of cards from some outside designers, but I'm waiting for approval to do that from Cricut. And so I don't want to, I'm not prepared. Basically, I wanted to do those designs, and if I can't do them, I'm not prepared with the new design. So I may not be here on Saturday night, but I'll let you all know later on in the day. And then also, what was I going to say? I just need some time to organize. I have piles and piles and piles of projects that I need to do, and finish up things that I started with you or by myself, and I need to finish up. And I'm looking at the calendar, and I should have done it last weekend when it was Columbus Day weekend, but I didn't. So just kind of informing you, I'm here today, but I may not be here tomorrow for Cricut Date Night. Okay. So welcome everybody. This is a project that, yes, I developed. It's fairly simple, but it's a beautiful technique that works really well with all kinds of projects. So here I'm showing you a couple. This one is a cat one that is for Halloween. It's Beware, and this one here, Happy Fall, with a maple leaf. I've done this with corgis, my favorite. I've done this with witches, and I've done, let me see, I got a whole bunch. We've got Thanksgiving turkeys, and what else have we got? We've got a lot of different designs here. We've got Christmas designs. Let me just see that I love the turkey. Christmas designs, and let's see. I had them all set out here for you. But Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Halloween. It can basically be done in for every holiday, kind of similar to what we've been doing. And the great thing about this is that it's basically a card front. So we're going to create this card front so you can make it any size you want. I do these in A2 size cards, which is kind of a standard. And what's great about it is that this can be completed on the Joy. It works out really, really well, completed on the Joy. And it's so easy to customize just for your, for whatever your purpose. And then what you do is you take and you put it onto a card back. So here's a card back that you can create from your own 8.5 by 11 inch paper, or you can use the insert cards, which are also this size, A2 cards, okay? So the insert cards are good because you can get the envelopes with it too, and you can basically make up a pack of cards, a dozen cards. So if you're into things like card ministries or card exchanges, or if you want to send, cards because of COVID, just to random things. I remember seeing some people like cards of kindness. I don't know where I saw that, but if you're into that kind of thing, this is a really good technique to learn. Okay. So I call them cutout cards. You may have seen something similar, but basically what it it consists of, and I'm just going to show you this one here, is, let's ungroup it. You've got this front, this like little doily thing, and you can do it all these different designs, by the way. And then I'm just going to ungroup here, and there's a little piece of coloring behind this so that you attach. And then here is something, probably patterned paper, that you're cutting to the exact size of a A2. So this is going to completely cover the card in the back, you see? So here's the card in the back, and this is basically a card front. So in this particular case, I cut out this with the corgi sort of punched in, and then a piece of gold, and then I used this paper as the background. And then to sort of change it up, or to sort of make it your own, you can create a little tag like this. Let me just make sure that this tag is in the front. Okay, so you can make a little tag like this. You can either do it plain or do it at the same color as your patterned paper. So in this case I have a lot of stuff around. Where is it? Okay, so in this case, I took a little piece of the pattern paper and matched it to the backing like this. So it's an adorable little card. Definitely make it with your Joy, but you can also make it with your Explorer or your Maker, and you could make a lot of them. You could churn out like at least 4 or 6 on a page of paper. So it's a good, use of your precious patterned paper. So how did I come about this design, and how can I make it as, good as, how can I make it my own, basically? So here's what I did. So first of all, if you need to create your own card, you can either take an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper and cut it in half with the personal trimmer. I've shown you that before. So I don't know if you need to see that, or you can actually create one straight from scratch, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so you have a couple options. If you have a Joy, you can't do this part, but if you have a Joy, you can just use your 8.5 by 11 inch and cut it in half. So first thing you want to do for the actual card part is to insert a square and a score line. And I'm going to turn this square white just so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to ungroup this. I don't know what's going on, Donna. I hope you're okay. So I'm going to ungroup this square, and I am going to make it the size of the card that I need, which in this case is going to be 8.5 inches wide. And so I'm going to change the width to 8.5, and then I'm going to change the height to 5.5, because remember, for the full card, we need the pre-folded part. Okay, so here's this is the card, and this is, what's going on? Somebody's angry? I don't understand. I'm getting, is somebody, wait. Okay, sorry guys, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to keep going. So here is the card that we're doing, 8.5 by 5.5 inch. So that's, when it's folded, it's 8.25 by 5.5, like this. Okay. So we're going to make that size for, this is if you want to create the backing card. Then we're going to take the scoring, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to, at the exact center, which is 8.25. All right, at the exact center, we're going to put this scoring line, which, by the way, we got over here in shapes. the bottom right-hand side scoring, okay? So we're going to then attach, I don't know, I'm getting angry faces though, Sarah. I don't know what's going on. But whatever, I don't care. It's whatever. Okay, so I'm going to attach that scoring line to my card. So now I have my card. So again, well, whatever. It's just going to, there's always one in the crowd, I guess. So now I have my card, and if you want to make your card on your Explorer you can. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to sort of dissect this. We're going to need a square that will cover the face of the card. So we do that by, again, choosing a square in Shapes. We're going to unlock it, and then we are going to make this half the size of the card we just made. Right? So here's the card that we just made, and you can either do it by doing this, or you can just manually adjust it to 4.25 and 5.5. Okay? So here we are, move these out of the way. So here is like a card front that's going to go over our base of our card. And you can change the color here to indicate whatever you want. I've chosen different colors, but this is going to be my patterned paper, okay? Now I need to go in and find this doily piece. So, we're going to go to images, and there are a couple of image sets that I usually find doily pieces from, and that's in a cartridge called Edge to Edge, or let me just check, Edge to Edge, and there's Edge to Edge 2. There's also Elegant Edges. So just so you can see where I get them, I'm going to Elegant Edges, and here's one that looks nice. It's got a zigzag edge. Now, don't mind that there are other things here, and also don't mind these ones that have holes in the middle, right? So I can show you how to make changes to them, and I'm just going to pull in a bunch here so you can see. Thanks, Shirley. Okay. So, all right, so here we go. Let me just get it. Okay, so here are some edges. Now, I know they don't look exactly the way we want them to, but there's an easy way to get around them. So we're just focused on the edges here. So I don't need these cutouts in the middle. And so here's what we're going to do. We are going to you'll notice over here, there's actually 3 layers here. One of them is shaded out. So we're going to, first we're going to show them all, and then we're going to ungroup it. And we're going to take this away, and this becomes our edge. This here is just an extra here. So this is what we get for our edge, okay? Same thing with this. Ungroup it, and then you would take away this piece, the top piece, and this becomes your lace piece, which we're going to change to white, okay? This postage stamp looking one, which is really cute, has a hole in the middle. So let's do ungroup, and we're going to take away this treatment over here. So we're going to have this, okay? And what we're going to do is then we're going to go to contour, which is what we did yesterday. And we're going to take out the middle piece so that we have this edge. You see what I'm doing here? So I'm creating these different edged, like I would call them like lace pieces. So here's another one, which we can ungroup, take away this part here with the filigree there, and then we're going to contour, take away that middle. So basically what I've created is a bunch of like things that are going to go over the front of the card. Now these are not white. I can change them to white right there. So I hope you're following me, because this is sort of how to do this technique. All right. Now, best idea here is to probably resize these, and you want them to be smaller than the front of this. So, but you want to be able to see that card below it, that patterned paper. So I'm just stretching them so that, they kind of look like it's a layer. You might have to unlock them or whatever. So here we are doing the same thing, and I'm just making them so that when I put them over a patterned paper, you're going to see the pattern in the back, okay? Same with this one. Okay, so the next thing to do is we need to find some images. So I want to do one that is a witch that I really like. So we're going to go to images, and let's go back to the search engine, and I'm going to just type in witch. And I really like this witch. She's kind of like this modern witch, and she's holding a mouse over a cauldron, and it's really cute. So let me show you. I think she has a black and white image here. Now, what you want to do is you want to pick an image that's pretty basic. And when I say basic, is that it's going to become a silhouette. So look for a silhouette. This would work, but there are some sticky situations here where these lines are. But let me see if I can't find my witch in black and white where she's standing over the cauldron and putting a little mouse in there. Let's see. Okay, here she is, and she's not all in black there. I thought I found her earlier, but okay, we'll just choose this one here, okay? All right, so we're gonna bring her in. Now we got to make some changes to her image because it's rather complicated and we don't need all that complication. So first I'm going to resize it, and I am going to ungroup everything. This isn't actually even the right image. No, this is not the right image. Sorry, guys. I have to go back and get the other image. This is not going to work for this. It's too complicated, this image. I am all messed up today. Okay, so let's see. We're going to go to images, and we are going to, there it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you, God. Okay, so here is a cute witch standing over a cauldron, putting in, as you can see, is like a little mouse, right? And I'm going to choose whichever background I want. I don't know. This one looks kind of cool because it looks like bubbles from a cauldron. And then I'm going to position it the way that I want it to be, above, like sort of above the fold there. And maybe not terribly big, like under 2 inches or so. So let's do it 2 inches here. And then I'm going to select both pieces. See that? I'm selecting both pieces. And then I'm going to slice. Okay? So let's hit slice, and we're going to peel away the different things. We don't need these 2 pieces. And now we have a sliced image, just so you can see it with the background. A sliced image into this little doily, okay? And so it's going to look the same as the pattern paper we have under here. However, I don't want that. I don't want the pattern paper. I would rather her be an outline in black. So I'm going to choose another shape, a square. It's going to be smaller. It's got to be able to cover her completely. So let's go over here, cover her completely. Yeah, that works. And I can make it black. And I'll put it behind her. So we're almost done with creating our card. So here is our card with, there's the base. And this is the piece that we're going to use for the pattern paper. And then we have our cutout. And then we have the, whoops, Let me just move it back one, move backwards. Okay, and then we have the cutout in black. Okay, so the only thing left to do is to create like a little, see how I have here, like a little banner with a saying. So like, I like the saying, it's just a little bit of hocus pocus, or just a little bit of hocus pocus. I think that's kind of cute. And it's kind of, going to work here. I might make this a little tiny bigger. Okay, so I'm going to go back to images, and I am going to search for what's called a banner. A lot of different banners are going to come up, but I'm looking for a very simple banner that is right here. And it's, I don't know, it's where it's from, but you can look around. But it's just basically a banner with like that zigzag edge on the end, and you can pull that in. And it comes up huge, so we got to make it smaller. And we want to make it be able to fit here, right? But we also want to do like a little saying on top. So we're going to duplicate that. And we're going to turn it white. All right. Now, the one that is on the bottom has to be slightly bigger than the one on the top, so you can see it out of there, or else it just doesn't make sense to have two layers there. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm lining them up and just making one bigger than the other, okay? And I'm doing it for size, so I think it's actually a little bit bigger than I want it to be, so I'm going to just make it a little smaller. Here we go. Now I'm going to add a text field to put my little saying there. So I'm going to go over to text, and I'm going to write just a little hocus pocus. Now it's a lot of text. You see I have it on a writing font right now. It's a lot of text for that little space. So we've got to really shrink it up. And we may even have to unlock it and sort of pull it a little bit so that it will fit. Let me get a closer look at it so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's my just a little bit of hocus pocus, and I'm sort of resizing it so it fits on that white. All right, I think that looks pretty good. And so I am going to select those two pieces, as long as I can select those two pieces. Okay, here, select these two pieces, and I'm going to attach them. And the only thing I have left to do is I need to make the banner, if you want to do it this way, I need to make the banner the same color as the patterned paper. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to go up and choose that. All right. So all this other stuff we're just going to ignore. So here is our card. It consists of, now remember, for our Friends with Joy, you would not cut out this piece, the back piece, okay? But if you have an Explorer or a Maker, then you can cut out using this as a back piece, or you don't have to, okay? And I will give you this file so you can play around with it and come up with all the different ideas that you want to come up with, okay? So let me just make sure. Height is 5.8. Okay. So what we have is we have our back of a card. We have the patterned paper. We have this little square beneath the lace that we created with our image cut out of it. And then we have our saying with the little tag below it. So let me show you what this looks like all cut out. I just need to get rid of all of this stuff. Okay. So we end up with just this card that we're going to cut out. All right. So let's go hit make it. And you'll see here, here's our card cut out. Here's our little banner. There is our our witch cutout on that lace piece. This little piece is just a little cutout for the back of the witch, and then there is our patterned paper. Now normally I would not cut out this back, so I'm going to eliminate that too. And when I cut them out, I usually will choose to make like, I don't know, 4 or so, because if I use a single piece of patterned paper, which is what I'm going to use here, I can then cut out 4 total cards here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut out this with the white, and there's some writing, and then this, which is all of these little squares, and this part in the patterned paper. Is there a way to put a score line inside of a shape? Yeah, sure. I just did that. And that, if you need to know about the score lines, just to go back, the score line that I did, where is it? Here. This was a shape. This started as a shape, Lisa. And so what I did was I just took a score line from shapes here, and I moved it over to the shape wherever you want to put it. You could put it halfway. That's where I put it, halfway, so I could fold it. But if you wanted to, you could put it any place, you know, like this here, if you wanted a score there. Yeah, so this is just like kind of, it's a card in theory, like how to design your own card, basically. And it's pretty simple technique, and it yields a pretty nice result. So let's go ahead and make this, and let's say we're going to cut it in 4, so that way we can use up all this really nice patterned paper here. And I'll show you, I've got this great patterned paper on here that I want to use. So I'm going to put it into my machine, and it's just regular medium patterned paper, medium cardstock, but it's patterned. And then we're just going to cut it out over here. So it's cutting it out on my machine. Again, I have a maker, but you can do this on any machine. If you do it on the Joy, the only thing you can't do is you can't do the base of this card, okay? So that's all that my machine is doing. Let me show you how these go together, okay? So as you can see, I have a whole little card making factory going on here. And here are the little banners. And the cutouts. I'm going to move this. Okay. So here is the maple leaf one that I did. And here's my little banner. And I don't know, we could choose Happy Fall. Now, by the way, if you wanted, you can do this as a print then cut. You don't have to. I used pen to do this, and then we need a little shape to go behind the maple leaf. Okay, so we're going to flip this over, and can't get my glue to work. Hold on, just when everything doesn't work. All right. Okay, sorry guys, taking a little bit of time. All right, so we flipped it over, and then we put a little bit of glue. Make sure you get it in all these little places. Now remember, this can be done for any holiday, and I'm going to show you a few images that you could use for Christmas or the New Year. The only thing is, when you pick an image, it has to be a pretty simple image, like more like a silhouette. You see that? There's no detail in this image. Same as here. It's just a straight image. And then here on the jack-o'-lantern, you'll notice that they're connected here. Snowflakes would work too on this. Snowflakes would work. And if you're cutting intricately, make sure you use that intricate cut, okay? So here's our piece of pattern paper that we're going to put this piece of lace over. Real simple. Right? And then we have our little banner are in the color of the pattern, and this here, which actually I didn't make too much smaller, but I can probably cut to fit it a little bit smaller just for demonstration purposes. Because we want to be able to see a little bit of that pattern paper. So there you go. Not quite perfect, but that's that. And then we're going to affix it to the banner, or to that pattern paper for the banner, and put it onto our lace like that. So that's how it goes together. And then when you have these empty cards, which you, again, cut from 8.5 by 11 or use the insert card packs, and then it would get affixed just straight like this. And you have a cute little card, especially if you're going to be sending out to a lot of people. This is a great little card to have at your disposal. And it also teaches you some basics about using a mat and layering your pieces so it looks more professional. I think a lot of people, when they start off with card making, they just sort of put stuff onto a card base, but there's a lot to be said for having a little piece of mat there and sort of building it like that, okay? So let me, how do you do the intricate cut? So Diana, intricate cut is a setting in Design Space. Let me see if I can get over there so you can see it. So intricate cut is when you get to that third screen. So from the canvas, you go to preparing your images, and then you choose your material that you're going to be cutting your base from. And it is a setting. So if you go to browse all materials, it's listed under cardstock. It's called cardstock for intricate cuts. So if you're doing a snowflake or something that's really just got a lot of grooves, Anna Griffin cards are good ones for that. Tiny pieces that you want to be very clearly cut out. Okay, that's when you would use intricate cuts. Now, in terms of finding images, Teddy, in terms of finding images for your little cutouts, okay, I just want to go over that real quick. So if you go to images and you're looking for something, say, for Christmas, you think about the image that you want to do. So for Christmas, I've done silver bells. So I've typed in bells, and I've looked at these images, and I want something very simple. So for instance, this one will work because it's one color and it's a pretty basic silhouette, versus this one won't really work. I mean, it's just got a lot of colors in there. This one here also doesn't really show that it's two bells. And so for instance, or this one would work, excuse me, but it's reversed. So I like this one here at the very top. And so when you bring it in to Design Space, it takes a while. Okay, so when you bring it into Design Space, you might have to resize it. But then when you take your piece of lace, so let's just get rid of this contour here. We'll hide all the contours. Okay, so then you take your piece of lace and you lay it over there, resize it, And then when you slice it, here we go. So when you slice it, you'll notice that you get to see all of the intricacies of that image. You see that? So that's the kind of image that you want to find. So let's look at other things, like I did a baby Jesus. So let's see, I did a nativity scene with this, and I took this image here. You see this image right here? I took the baby Jesus lying in the manger, and we'll bring that in like this. Got to resize it. Just go here and recontour this. Okay, so I took the baby Jesus. I got to resize it to be the size that I want. And then I would select both of those and hit slice. And you end up with a really beautiful cutout of the baby Jesus. And then you can put like Merry Christmas or For Unto Us a Child is Born, something like that. So the idea is when you're doing this, you're finding images that are simple, that have very clear lines, one color. Okay, and there are plenty of them. Yeah, and the possibilities are endless. It's just sort of, you can put your own saying on there. You want to just put Merry Christmas. You want to, I did a one with Hanukkah. So I typed in menorah, right? And I looked for a menorah image. So here's one that looks pretty good. It's very simple, clean cut. I keep using this same piece, but so we'll just contour, hide all the contours here. So here's my menorah, and I'm going to resize the menorah, obviously, to work here. And so you can do a Happy Hanukkah theme, or you could do it for Rosh Hashanah. Here you go, and slice. And boom. There's really not, once you get the technique, there's really not much to it. It's basically the piece below, that's your mat. Then you've got your cutout piece, and then you have your little banner, which you can change the size. I just chose whatever looked good to me. And you end up with a really cute card that just goes on a blank card back, and you could actually make a bunch of these cards and just have them, like if you're really, like to make a lot of cards person, you can just go ahead and make a bunch of these card fronts, and then when an occasion comes up or it's that holiday, get a pack of cards with envelopes from Michael's or whatever, and just attach them and send them out. So simple. Okay, so I hope everybody enjoyed this. I don't know what was going on earlier in the video. Hopefully I didn't offend someone, but this is, I can't please everybody, I guess. But anyway, or maybe it was a mistake, who knows. But anyway, again, tomorrow and Saturday night, I had hoped to show you a project, but I need to wait and see if I can do that. And that was the Thanksgiving cards. And then we talked a little bit about doing shadow boxes, but the images, I only have 2 images that I really like, and I don't have time to create images that I want for you. And yes, Dawn, that's the other thing. I have to get the card exchange list ready. I have a bunch of projects here that I need to finish and get off to people, and because I do a lot of donations to the senior center. So I just think if I had Saturday night or all day Saturday and Sunday, I might get more done. So if that's the case, I will let you know on the page. And then And then, and I'll be back on Monday with our mystery material, and we'll continue on with our card making adventures. Heading towards holiday, we'll be doing more holiday stuff and all of that. So thanks everybody for coming today. Not everybody celebrates the same holiday. Yeah, it's true. You know, how there's just all kinds of holidays coming up in the next couple of months, and we're going to just try to hit them all. But if there's one in particular that you want to see, you let me know and I will work on that. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you coming today. Thank you, Susan. Take care. Bye.